Bad news, Errol Spence is done at 147 if he moves up to 154 and takes a fight with Keith Thurman, says former champion Tony Harrison. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Tony Harrison recently spoke, and he gave his perspective on if Errol Spence were to fight Keith Thurman. That's the rumor, and the rumor is that it would be over 147, closer to 154 or 154, right? Tony Harrison believes that if Errol Spence does in fact do this, that he will not return to 147 pounds, and it's over for that chapter. Now, for one, I agree. I have a conversation with Andre Ward years ago, and it was for the Kovalev, maybe the Kovalev second fight, right? And it was at his media day, and we were talking, and basically, this is years later, mind you. Basically, what happened when Andre Ward was doing his workout, somebody mentioned fighting Gennady Golovkin. And he was over fighting Golovkin because he said, let's line it up. If Triple G had no guys, hey, Max is big drama, guys, his punch is nothing. He said, if you want to line it up, we can line it up. Triple G's side responded with, we'll fight him at a catch weight at 164 and blah, blah, blah. Andre Ward, not to be deterred by any fighter and have his path obstructed, he says, bump that, I'm to 75, and he did the tune-up style fights, or the Sullivan-Barrera fight, which wasn't a tune-up in my opinion, and Alexander Brand, and then he was fighting Kovalev. So he was done with it. He called him Lil G, and he moved on with his world and his career, right? But Andre Ward, I still remember what he said to me. He was basically saying, why would I go back down to Triple G? Because he had already fought Barrera. He had already fought Kovalev once. He had already fought against Alexander Brand. So he's 3 fights deep into a new division, and people were still asking about Triple G because I guess Triple G, this is when HBO was still around, so Triple G was still quote-unquote relevant. And Andre Ward, I still remember what he said. He basically said, I'm just paraphrasing it, he said, why would I go back and fight Triple G and crush my body when I've been at 175 and do all this other stuff to make that weight? So he's like, no, that's a dub basically. And, unless Triple G is coming up to 175, because Andre Ward, I always looked at Floyd and Andre Ward as like the quintessential gold standard of boxing in terms of disciplinary figures. They put the work in, they made the sacrifices, and then they stayed undefeated, and the results showed. So what Andre Ward was saying, Andre Ward is saying, like, it doesn't make sense for me to destroy my body and, give any advantages or benefits, or even put myself through the ringer like that for no Triple G or anybody else. And I always respected that. So fast forward to the future with Errol Spence. First of all, Tony Harrison is not the only person who is saying it. Tony Harrison said this, and also Jaron Ennis said this, Boots Ennis. So you got 2 completely different fighters from 2 completely different camps, and they're giving their own opinion. So I get it. Jaron Ennis and Tony Harrison, they're not in charge of Errol Spence or his career or his decision making, so they can't necessarily influence that. I get that. But they are pro fighters, so their perspective is still like valued. Even though they don't control Errol Spence's actions or moves, they're just giving their perspective. So if fighters are saying it, and pretty much this corroborates what Andre Ward told me years ago about like backtracking and double backing and going up and down and weight and doing all this extra stuff, then I think it's pretty well understood that fighters know that it's pretty much, you don't really see that. You don't really see fighters move up in weight and then move back down in weight. Rare occurrences, I would say, like Floyd Mayweather, he would sometimes dabble at 154 with De La Hoya, Canelo at a catch weight of 152, things like that, and then he would come back down. But Floyd is an anomaly for one, and Floyd was also close to his walking around weight, his competition weight. You know what I'm saying? So when he was fighting guys at 54, he was weighing in under that. And, you know, on fight night, he might be like 148, 150, 151. So he didn't have these career highs and rehydrate like some of these new guys. So definitely, to make a long story short, it's not advisable for fighters to fluctuate their weight. I mean, a doctor would tell you, even if you don't box, you don't have to box. You could just be a person, and you don't want to lose too much weight too quickly. A doctor will tell you that, because the fluctuation, your body doesn't really have time to adjust, and you're doing this like crash diet or some freak diet, and your body goes from a certain body fat and weight and plummets to something lower. That could also lead to complications and issues. So I agree. I think Errol Spence, if it is announced that he fights Keith Thurman at 154, I don't really see him playing around and coming back down to 147. So what does that mean for the Crawford fight? I mean, it means what it sounds like. We probably won't get the Crawford fight ever. And if we do get the Crawford fight, it will probably be at 54, or at best, maybe a catch weight, like 150 something. You know, like they're doing Ryan Garcia and Tank at a catch weight. Or it just won't be for the belts if they do happen to fight. So I really blame Crawford for a lot of that, because he was so close, and then he's the one that in the game of chicken, he swerved first. And he said, hey, I'm doing something else, BOK Prime, and I'm fighting David David Avanescence, or whatever his name is. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, that was his bad, that was his decision, and rightfully so. Errol Spence keeps it trucking, keeps moving on with his career. So it may be done for Crawford and Errol Spence, at least for all the marbles and undisputed at 147. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Tony Harrison gave his opinion. I gave mine. I'm the best in the business, and I'm out. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxingego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new, interactive, and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.